What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Backstory. I am Carlos Hardy. Thank you so much for choosing us, choosing our channel. This is What is the Backstory, where we go ahead and we tackle certain subjects, topics, trends, past subjects, and we want to bring them to the forefront of where we are today in our lives. So today we're talking about Michael Jackson, and in our writers' room, we're going to take a different perspective on what happened with Michael Jackson. Okay, so that'll be later in our writers' room. But let's get started. So Michael Jackson he is the all-time greatest singer, dancer in the entire world. Everybody knows this man, whether you are, from Generation X, Generation Y, you're your grandparents, your great grandparents, it doesn't matter. You know who Michael Jackson is. He's a pop icon. Everybody tried to emulate him and duplicate his style, his music, and anything that is Michael Jackson. They tried their very best to copy, but there's nothing like an original. Now, my first question is going to be, where were you when the announcement came that Michael Jackson had passed away? I remember working, and I was going into work. I was working overnight at the time. This was 2009, June 25th, and I was working overnight at the time, and I was sitting on my couch, and one of my frat brothers texted me that Michael had died, and in that moment, my heart began to beat really, really fast because when you get any kind of text message or anything that's going to cripple you or elicit this emotion from you, you're going to be in a place of unbelief. Your brain is trying to block it out and trying to protect you from the onslaught of emotions or any tragic situation. So in that moment, I looked at the phone, where my frat brother sent me the text message, and I immediately put the phone down, thinking that I can unsee what I saw. Okay, and it was a tragic situation, and I for years I knew Michael was on a decline, okay? And we all did, as his fans, his family, his critics. Everyone knew that he was in decline based on allegations, based on his music, based on his health. We all knew that he was not the Michael Jackson that we were used to seeing. But there was still this glimmer of hope that he will someday return to his or reign again as what we know as the king of pop. It never happened. June 25th happened, and it was a horrible day. Michael Jackson created this persona about him. That means he created this person that was seemingly untouchable, that everybody wanted to emulate and be like. So he had the guards, he had the military, he had the police all backing him and behind him, in the imagery and the music, the subtle music, but at the same time the cinematic music playing, so that he created this untouchable figure. And so for a lot of us watching that, we felt that he was invincible. No pun intended. But he was a person that he was an icon, and you sometimes you can't wrap your hands around people like that, because sometimes they're untouchable. So Michael ended up creating this image, and the media ran with it. So to me, it was a cat and mouse game. Michael would do something, the media would follow. Then the media would say something, Michael would respond. And it would go back and forth, back and forth. And for a while, his music took a backseat to all of the clownery, all of the sensationalized headings and headlines that occupied the media. And to me, I think that really hurt him, because he was trying his best to produce amazing music. He is and still is the all-time biggest selling musical act in the world. That means on the globe. No one is over him. And to me, that's incredible. That's an incredible feat to have. Also, Forbes said that he is the only entertainer that has died that his estate has profited every single year of his death. To me, that's amazing. Who else is doing that? I know you may say, well, Elvis is doing it, but not like Michael. Sorry. So Michael influenced a lot of the generations to come. He influenced so many, it's just too many acts to name. But recently, I would say the couple of acts that he's influenced the most to me, which is Jason Derulo, Usher, Chris Brown. And I think they're good artists. I don't think they're great artists. I think they're good artists. But Michael had this work ethic that didn't involve social media. It didn't involve having to have a cluster of fans and people behind you. He created this mystique that you wanted to be a part of. Like, it just what he wore and who he was as a person, his kindness. One thing I say when people, kind of combat me about who's a legend and what's a legend, I always tell them that you have to have a cause. And Michael had a cause. His cause was, of course, heal the world. With his philanthropy and with his organization, he wanted to heal the world. He wanted the world to be better, whether it's the environment, whether it was the kids. He wanted that. And I say this to everyone who is trying to, especially musical acts, who are trying to emulate and walk in someone like Michael Jackson's footsteps. You have to have purpose. You have to have something that is bigger than your music. And I think his kindness, his heart, his love for kids, his love for humanity completely overshadowed his music in a good way. I think his demons and his drug use kind of stifled his advancement in the music industry at the end, which resulted in, but no one can touch Michael to this day. I dare you to name one person that is on the level of Michael Jackson. At one point, Chance the Rapper made a statement that Beyonce was like Michael Jackson, and I could tell he's from the new school because I like Chance too, but he had no idea. Like, you can't compare. There's no comparison. Michael Jackson was a movement. Anytime you help to evolve a genre, help evolve an industry, that's when you become, to me, a legend. That's when people tend to look at you as, oh my God, you are the actual person that we're deeming you to be, the king of pop. And I like Beyonce, but she hasn't done that yet. I think she's great, but she's closed off, and that's a whole nother story. And I'll do another video about that. But that's a whole nother story. But at the end of the day, I know for a fact that Michael Jackson music will live on forever, regardless of what happened in the past, regardless of the allegations, regardless of any of that stuff. People, when a Michael Jackson song comes on, people are going to dance. They're going to rejoice. They're going to enjoy his music. So that's just how it is. He's just one of those figures. Everybody isn't like that, but he's one of those figures where you have to stop and pay homage to who he is, because he's helped to trailblaze a lot of artists and a lot of people. So he is my all-time favorite artist of all time. I only have two. He's one. I'll share with you guys the other person in a later video that I'll be writing something to at a later time. But he's my all-time favorite. It's time for the writer's room. As you know, this channel is about writers. It's about script writers. It's about people who journal, whatever it is you're opting to do with your writing. I wanted to help you do that. So I always have a subject, but then again, I talk about the subject and write about the subject. So today we're going to write about Michael Jackson, and I hope I don't want to give it away. I just want you to enjoy this scene. Let's go into the writer's room and see what I wrote about Michael Jackson. Take a look. A small private jet soars over a hidden island 10 miles off the coast of Puerto Rico. Only the pilot and a single passenger occupies the dinky aircraft. A young adult male glares through the windows, looking below at the gorgeous turquoise ocean. He spots his destination, a small patch of island a mile in the distance. The young male tightens his grip on his armrest. He has taken this trip for the past 10 years, but the bumpy landing always rattles his nerves. He gulps down air frantically and prays with conviction as the water plane plunges into the ocean, landing several feet from the island's shore. The young man hands the pilot a stack of hundreds. "Thank you, Simon. I'll see you in 7 days." The pilot glances at the wad of cash, then at the young man wearing dark sunglasses, obviously to hide his identity. "Are you sure you're going to be okay?" "Yes, I'll be fine, Simon. You've flown me here a million times. Thank you." The young man opens the door and treads his way through the soothing warm water which elevates to his waist. His 2 bags are draped carefully over his shoulder. He's embarked on this intricate excursion for the better part of 10 years now. He has it down to a science. After a while, the young man reaches to shore. His bags collapse onto the sand. The man removes his soaked trousers, replacing them with dry ones from his bag. The mysterious visitor throws his glasses and hat to the ground. He finds comfort in the soft grains of sand nibbling at his toes. The lonely sounds of the ocean's rippling waves gently tease at his eardrums. He's all alone. "Hello?" he bellows in delight. "I'm here," he repeats, moving closer to the delicate wall of eye-catching hibiscus flowers overtaking the island. Suddenly, a piece of passion fruit is flung at the young man, smacking him clear across the face. He chuckles with excitement, momentarily shrugging off his displeasure. "You will pay for that." He gazes through the towering vegetation. He notices the shadow of a person running toward the center of the island. He throws his bags over his shoulder and quickly chases after the unknown. After a while, the young man stands at the threshold of a small wooden shed in the center of the island. He slowly opens the door. A second piece of fruit is chucked at his head, but knowing what he's up against, the man manages to dodge the second attack. "Dad, stop it. Aren't you happy to see me?" Hidden in the shadows is a man with a graying beard, but a youthful appearance. His beamy smile makes up for his mischievous behavior. His clothes are shredded perfectly to fit his bony frame. "Hello, Michael," the young man says, taunting the older gentleman. The older man emerges from the dark shadows. His tone is soft and sweet as the fruit he holds. "I told you to never call me that." "Sorry, Dad, but that is your name." The father and son duo share a warm hug. "How are you, Prince? You look taller." "That's because I am father." Prince pulls up a chair made of bamboo. He sits. "I brought you what you asked for." Michael sits next to his son, whining like a kid begging for candy. "What is it? What did you bring me?" Prince reaches into his bag, pulling out a box of Snickers. He hands the chocolate treats to his father. Michael quickly opens the package and devours one of the bars. "I forgot how great these things taste." Prince stands and looks through the shed's window. His mind drifts to a daunting place far away. He swings around, seemingly wishing his emotions back into hiding. "You ever miss the world?" Michael places the candy onto the floor. It takes everything within himself to not allow the caution to tip his emotions. "I miss the family, yes. Mother, Joseph, Blanket, and Paris. How's Mom and Dad anyway?" Prince's expression is riddled with angst. He smiles to mask his deceit. "Mom and Joseph are fine." Prince stays quiet for the moment. Michael lifts from his stool and stares into the peaceful ocean. "You hear that, Prince?" "No, what am I listening for?" Michael's voice conveniently lowers an octave. "Peace. I have peace here. No fans, no paparazzi, no judgment. But we miss you, Dad." "I know, Prince. This is where I need to be. They'll never find me here." "Dad, there is something I have to tell you." Michael playfully nudges his older son with an elbow. "What is it, Prince?" Prince is plagued with a concerned smirk on his face. "Go on, spit it out, Prince." "They bought the catalog. The estate is bankrupt." "What do you mean? My legacy is all I've asked you to protect, Prince." "I'm sorry. We're broke, Dad. It's all gone." Within seconds, the sound of helicopters swarm above the island. Michael panics. "What's that? They followed you here?" Michael turns to his firstborn. He notices the pain concealed within his stare. "I had to, Dad." "You led them here, Prince? How could you?" "They offered me $25 million. Prince, I'm your father. Michael hysterically runs from the shed to the edge of the water. A plethora of helicopters hover slightly above his head. Photographers hang from the door of the aircraft snapping photos. Michael takes a lasting glare at his son before plunging into the ocean. Dad, no, don't do it. Michael's body slowly sinks beneath the raging current until it swallows his entire body. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that scene. It's just a story. I'm creating stories. What if Michael was on an island all alone and just enjoying his life like he wanted to? I think, that right there would be beautiful. It would be amazing. It would be awesome. I try my very best to create a setting, a scene that can either pull you forward, pull you back, keep you where you are. It just, hopefully tug at those emotions, hopefully give you a little insight on what I'm thinking about the person, about their life. But I really, really appreciate it. Just tell me your comments. What do you think? What do you think about that scene with Prince and Michael? It's just, a simple scene. I also wanted to give you the tip of the day for those of you who are writing and love to write or love to read or love to embellish in any type of literature. Today's tip of the day is be content with your writing. Okay? Now, as writers, we write a lot of stuff, and not everything is a home run, and not everything is great. But at the same time, the mere fact that you are writing is, to me, the most positive thing to do in trying to find your voice, try to find your writer's voice. And being content with where you are is so important, because when you're content with where you are, it propels you to the next level or to the next place. So please, writers, understand you're going to have critics. You're going to have people saying that your stuff may not be great. It may be in the middle. It may be here, it may be there. It doesn't matter as long as you keep writing. That's my point. Be content in your writing, but keep writing. Please, there are millions of people, billions of people in the world that would love to hear your voice. So continue writing. So I encourage you, please continue writing. I'm trying to just create these stories, trying to tell a story, trying to invoke something in you to start your project. If you have a project, or if you just want to, come stop by and just, spend the day with me, that's cool. I appreciate it very much. Until next time, I'm Carlos, and this is What is the Backstory. Peace.
What's the backstory with Carlos Hardy? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe.